Okay, here's Ed's work, and I couldn't find a skeletal view of the upper torso. Here's the muscled view. The legs are what I really want to talk about here. Boy, a very complex study, I'd say. I like to see the way the sartorius muscle curves from the outer upper part of the thigh in and toward the inside of the knee. And that's something that Ellen was asking about. I posted a link showing where you can see what that muscle does. There's a little animation I've linked you to. Now, the bones also in the leg look so dimensional. I really admire what you were able to accomplish there, Ed. Okay, here's Michael's work, and what a whopping quantity of drawing we have here. This is very detailed, every last drawing. Look at the back view of the rib cage, for example. I like the fact that Michael's using a reference other than what's prepackaged in the course. All the labeling in the leg muscles is a help because we start to think about how the leg operates and what the different muscles do. A beautiful rendition of the pelvic bone. I'm a little critical of the example given in the course picturing the lower portion of the torso. I think it's good to look beyond those illustrations. Okay, here's Sharon's work, and this is so lovely. I've seen beautiful pelvic bone drawings this week, and it is that form is so inspiring. It's so sculptural. Sharon, I see you working with a pencil, and for some things that works great, particularly the rib cage, the leg bones. When I look at the torso musculature, I think, boy, I think she could go farther if she worked in charcoal. I want you to try out charcoal. Well, here's Diana's work, and boy, a lot of care. I would like you also to loosen up. I'm going to take a look at the rib cage, and I'm noticing there the beautiful rendition of the clavicles, the collarbone. Notice how the text in the online lecture explains that this looks a little different between male and female figures. In the muscled torso, I want you to think of the idea of the linea alba, a line that goes down the center of the abdomen. The navel will sit on it. Go back and read about that. The way that the description is positioned is a little bit odd in the online lecture. So here's Ellen's work, and I think she's experimenting with charcoal. This is my better guess looking at her drawings and based on our exchange of info via email. One thing that's great about charcoal is you can achieve a wide range of values very rapidly. So I'm thinking maybe the pelvic bone was drawn with charcoal. Charcoal should be used without pencil. You can use a hard 2H pencil or something like that for layout, but then you want to graduate to Vine charcoal, and when everything's settled with Vine, then go on and work with compressed charcoals. Plan not to erase with compressed charcoal. Looking at the muscled torso, the upper torso, I'm thinking the navel here might just be a little bit high. Well, here's Eric's work, and boy, those legs look sensational. However, I'm a little disappointed in this scan because I can't really see the qualities of an actual drawing. This comes off a little like an illustration. I want to see how you drew the drawing, so be sure when you're adjusting the image to make that apparent. Now on to the torso drawings, which are quite nice. I think there's a chance these were done in charcoal, which I'm advocating. I will say that the muscle torso looks just a tad lopsided, and I'd like to encourage Eric and everybody to visit Questions for the Professor, where I've put some additional information, including something about proportions and composition. All right, so here is Aaron's work, and I want to compliment him on what looks like a pretty complex pair of legs, muscled and and bones. I want you, Aaron, to check proportions with the bones and the aspects of them. I think that the end of the femur, for instance, by the knee seems exaggerated. Also, with regard to feet, we always have to strive to get forward pointing toes to look like something other than fringe. And I'm going to refer you to what Diana did. She solved that pretty well. And I even like Ed's toes in addition. So take a look at what your classmates are doing to get that right. With the torso, these drawings are crude, and I think you can do better regardless of where you started. If you invest time, you're going to be able to achieve something a little better than this. And what is showing us where you can go is a kind of beautiful pelvic bone drawing down there. I'm looking for that sort of sensitivity in all your drawing. All right, looking at Mike's, well, there's some nice qualities here. I'm thinking that your images are compromised a little bit due to image editing. These should probably be black. So take a look at my notes at the top of the image here in the review so that you can employ those tactics to make sure that you've got a good exposure for your drawings. I'm thinking with the rib cage, you probably drew from a photo I linked people to, and I like that. I want you to lighten up. Shake yourself out before you sit down to draw. Be loose and let go of edges. If you're not drawing with charcoal, I like to see you do that. It's good for solving sort of like a tight, nitpicky approach to drawing. All right, so Ryan's work, Ryan posted some drafts after I reviewed them in the morning, and I just added those here because I thought they were pretty interesting. He's really been working hard, and I want to advocate for posting drafts. Please take that extra step because I think it gets the whole project underway and we work better together as a class. I would like to give you feedback on drafts more so than your finished works where you don't have a chance to revise. Now, these drawings are pretty stylized, and I'm wondering if ink was used. Notice ink's not on our list of supplies. I do want to applaud that beautiful pelvic bone done in a reddish medium. Don't know if that's red Conte crayon, but quite lovely. I am going to note that the tailbone does not attach to the front of the pelvic bone, the pubic area, and I want you to revisit the look of this bone from the side view. Okay, so here's Olivia's, and I see a real spirit of study. These are carefully drawn, and I note the way some measuring was used also. They're delicate and elegant, these drawings. Um, I like the torso because it feels like you're really in control. That is the upper torso. I'm looking to the lower torso and I'm feeling like the muscled view got a little squished. And a fix for that is to step back from your work. I want you to visit the item on composition and proportion in questions for the professor. Also, I see, in a lovely drawing of the pelvic bone, a little bit of asymmetry in those couple of openings in the front near the pubic area. Well, here's Robert's work, and he's affected by an unusual situation that's keeping him from getting all his work in on time this week. And actually, that's true with Sarah too. But I know that they'll take care of things. I just had to do this review, and while I like to include all the drawings, sometimes we can't wait. So in Robert's drawing, I like to see de-emphasis on edge. There is a lot of careful study here, and I suggest charcoal. I can see this shiny graphite, and I think charcoal's a way to loosen up a bit.